Okay, welcome back. It's been way too long. Happy to get the Cleveland Java Meetup back on its feet again. Appreciate Tech Elevator for hosting us tonight. My name, for those of you that don't know, I know several of you, but for those of you that I haven't met or talked to yet, my name is Scott Sigmund. I'm a solutions consultant back with Oracle. This is my second stint with Oracle. I work in the Java software group, specifically on GraalVM, which is a cool technology that maybe we'll talk about here this evening. This is our first in-person meeting. Well, first meeting in a while, actually. Some folks got together, and I'll introduce those folks here in a moment to talk about getting the meetup back on a regular cadence. Previously, we had a pretty pretty solid group that would attend, so it made sense for us to kind of get this going again, especially in person. So there we go. Okay. So again, my name is Scott Sigmund. I'm with Oracle, as I mentioned. There are three other folks that are on the steering committee. I have in air quotes here. Craig, raise your hand in the back. He's with Tech Elevator. Been around the industry in Cleveland for a long time. Dan M is here, and Dan V is here. So the four of us got together a couple months ago to try and resurrect the group. If you're interested in participating, helping us with topics, speakers, any of the mission behind the group, feel free to reach out to one of us, and we'll be happy to include you on any future meetings that we have around the group. Again, since we're just kind of kicking things off again, we thought we'd talk a little bit about some of the logistics of the meeting. Hopefully we'll continue to use Tech Elevator as a spot for the meetings going forward. We've designated the third Tuesday of every month as our meeting date. Hopefully that works out for most of you. And we've got some dates, and I'll show you a little bit about the schedule that we've kind of cobbled together here for the rest of the year. In general, the meetings will work as you see, well, as you experience here tonight, right? From 5:30 to 6, we'll do some networking, have some food, chat about things. We'll start the main content at 6 o'clock. And we thought we'd kick it off with kind of a roundtable. So if there's any new business that you want to talk about, if you're working on some cool projects or you have some ideas that you'd like to share with the group, we'll do that at the beginning of each meeting. So it'll give us an opportunity, give everyone an opportunity to kind of talk about what they're doing, what's going on. If you have any questions, right? Someone reached out on Tech Slack and asked if this group is for more advanced users, and my answer was no, right? I think we're going to try and hit as many levels as we can with the topics that we cover. So by all means, if you've got some questions that come up, we'll use that time to answer any of those questions. And then we'll dig into the main content, sometime around 6:15, 6:20, depending if we have any new business to talk about. Okay. And then whenever we're done, all right, depending on the speaker and the content, it could last an hour, it could last an hour and a half. So, the end time will be flexible, I'm sure. We didn't do it today, and that kind of falls on me, but we'll plan to record these sessions as often as we can, if not every month. I'm recording the Zoom session now, so we'll be able to post that. Hopefully the audio will be good. I'll stand here, so the audio will be good. But maybe we'll use YouTube Live or something that's a little bit more automatic. Right? It'll record it for us, and we'll create our own YouTube channel. Maybe we can maintain a repository of the meetings there. you know, we'll do a better job getting the word out. We're happy you're here tonight, but we need to do a better job of getting the word out for these meetings. So we'll continue to use the Meetup site, obviously. There is a tech, is everyone on Tech, Cleveland Tech? No? Okay. If you're not, you should be. It's a fairly active tech community on Slack, and there's a Java channel. We can use that to post announcements there too. And if you've got LinkedIn, you know, a lot of us are connected, you can do that. You know, Craig, I was going to ask you about the Twitter account. Do you guys have that now or no? Do you know?
You know, I don't know use Twitter. So
okay. Yeah, I don't know where that's at. So I'll look into that. At one time I was maintaining it, but when I wasn't really super involved with the Java user group, I thought I handed it off to somebody, but who knows where that's at. But anyway, we'll try to get that running again also. But if you've got any other ideas to help spread the word about the meetings, please, you know, feel free to chime in with any recommendations. Okay. So I mentioned that we had gotten together and kind of talked about a schedule. This is tentative, but these are some of the ideas just based on interests that you know, either we have with people that we work with or just general topics that I think seem to be, or we thought seemed to be of interest. So this is kind of the schedule. We felt that maybe if we had a schedule that it would help with planning with a lot of you, right? There's some sessions that you probably don't care about or don't want to be part of, but others might be interest to you. So this is kind of our first pass at what the schedule might look like for the remainder of the year. So take a minute to look it over and let us know if you've got some comments about it. You'll see in August, we've got this deep dive series, and we're going to have more of those where we kind of dig into a technology really deep. So it'll be, you know, dedicated to one technology, you know, one Java technology. In this case, in August, we're planning to talk about concurrency, and we've got other ideas around that, and I'll share some of those here in a moment. So in addition to those, we also had some other, you know, topics of interest. Again, we can replace any of these with any of these if there's more of an interest in some of these than we had kind of delegated for the first, you know, the first 6-8 months of the group getting back together. So I'll pause right here and see if there's any kind of input on these topics or these topics here that we've kind of come up with. So any comments, questions, anything that you'd rather see replaced that maybe we didn't list in those 2 pages of topics? Look good? Yeah. Okay. What's that?
Keep that something funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll give, and I think, you know, going back to the levels, I think the goal for those would be, yeah, we're going to get deep into it, but, you know, start out at a level that everyone can understand, at least what the technology is about, and then, you know, dive deep into, or as deep as you want to go into the discussion. The Java frameworks panel discussion for next month, I think will be really interesting. We're going to, our goal here is to represent some of the, I guess we'll say, modern frameworks for developing Java applications. And that includes, you know, Spring Boot, Quarkus, and Micronaut. So we're going to talk about those frameworks, and we'll have representatives, hopefully, from each of those, you know, the organizations behind those technologies. So I've reached out to some former coworkers at Red Hat, where I used to work, to see if they can have a Quarkus representative here. You know, one of the Dans here will probably talk about Spring Boot, and I'll probably take Micronaut, since Oracle's kind of behind Micronaut right now. But anyway, that should be a great discussion. You know, I think what we'll do is, you know, each individual will talk about the technology for a little bit, maybe some demos if we've got time, but then we'll have a moderator, and we'll take questions from either the moderator. We'll have some questions ready, but you can ask questions about those frameworks, how they're used, what they're used for, et cetera. You know, the future, what's coming down the pike. But I think that'll be a really interesting session. And then, of course, we're trying to hit, you know, every kind of interest, whether it's around security or how you deploy Java applications, et cetera. Okay. Yes.
Good. Could there be like a website to take a survey with, let people vote up which topics they wanted to see?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or also be able to add a topic if they didn't see one near they wanted to, then they could add the topic, and that would become something that people would be voting up then.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We can do that. So the question was, can we get a survey together for topics? And absolutely, we'll get something together and post it to the group. Okay, any other questions or comments around the group? Kind of getting things kickstarted again?
Do you have speakers lined up for each of the topics?
No. Great question. So the question was, do we have speakers lined up? Not in every instance. So if there's a topic here that you have some knowledge behind, you don't necessarily need to be an expert. Let me be clear about that. If you've just got an interest in it and want to drive the discussion behind any of these technologies, feel free to volunteer. It's a good opportunity for you to get up and hone your skills talking in front of people. So yes, some we do have speakers, some we do not. So please, again, get with one of the four of us and let us know if you're interested.
Will we have 2 speakers for the Java concurrency?
We, yes, very good. Yeah, then I see what you did there. Yes. Yes, it's quite possible we'll have more than one speaker for concurrency. Yes. Of course, you saw lightning talks. You know, again, going back to if you've got an interest in a technology, this would be a great opportunity for you to get up in front of the group and talk, you know, for 10 minutes if you'd like, around something that you're doing around Java, or something cool that you're doing, or a project that you might have worked on that you want to share your experiences. That'll give it anyone and everyone an opportunity to talk about anything that they're doing cool. So lots of good stuff hopefully coming. This will maybe help you plan for the coming months. Now, you know, we've got a meeting scheduled for December. Will we have one? I don't know. We'll see. You know, we'll see how things go. We'll see what happens with, you know, all this crap that's going on right now. But our intention is to continue to meet in person with some virtual options also. Okay, any other questions before we get on to the, yes?
I just wanted to just touch on the virtual options. That mostly be through Zoom. Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Zoom or YouTube Live or something, right?
Gotcha.
YouTube Live might be a better option because we can, you know, I mean, not that we couldn't do chat on Zoom. We could have somebody doing, you know, chat on Zoom, but anyway, yes. The question was, are we going to use Zoom? Yeah, right off, I guess at start, but maybe we'll transition to something that's a little bit better.